Welcome to Pillar of Harmony Tarot. This is a live. So I'm doing this live as a general check-in for all signs after the crazy 6-month period of retrograde activity that we've had. And I think it's time. It's time to check in. So, Aries. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, so right away we have Knight of Swords, very Aries energy, for me at least, very impulsive, very forward moving. Also, Neptune moving into Aries. It's a very fast, impulsive time to take action on ideas, action on projects. Okay, so give me... So this is, I'm sensing a present card. So somebody in the present moment, Aries, could be you. Give me a past card. Thank you. So in the past, it seems like you were tending to your money, kind of like a stay-at-home mom vibe. Now you're more in your active era, Knight of Swords vibes. Give me another card for the future, Spirit, please. One more card for Aries for the future. One card for Aries for the future. Okay, so, okay, thank you. So chaos for the future, that's right. All right, Aries. So in the future, you're working on your pentacles. You're moving forward in starting projects. Okay, so somewhere in the subconscious, there could be somebody that you've been thinking about. Interesting. There seems to be a transformation. Ooh, a subconscious transformation. That's what it is. The Aries, the Knight of Wands transforming into a King of Wands. That's beautiful. I love that for you. Hopefully you moving forward and not in this passionate energy, but very smart in your mental energy moving forward. Doing these projects will bring you maturity. It will tame those flames inside of you into a coherent, cohesive passion that burns and brings about very good results, as opposed to a chaos of just moving about. This tamed fire, this controlled fire, a fire that you will wield in the way that you want it to, and it won't wield you. So that's really good. I'm really excited for you about that. So that's your personality development. And let's pick a card. I'm getting called to pick something for the space up here, which to me seems like your spiritual realm, your mental headspace, or... Okay, thank you. Okay, so you could still have some sort of heartbreak on your mind. You could be throwing yourselves into this work because of this heartbreak, but ultimately it is all leading to this development of who you are as a person and who you will become. Even on the bottom of the deck here, we have a Page of Wands, which relates to this. You were a young page when you developed this relationship, and you've matured through it to the Knight of Wands, and now you're moving on to maturing into this King of Wands energy. And as much as it hurts, it is part of your development, and it is part of your maturation. And all things are divine. All the things that happen, not to us, but for us, are leading us to grow and be the best we can be. And if you keep that kind of positive attitude, and, you know, I understand that it could be motivating you into this Knight of Swords feeling, it's good. You can use that pain as motivation. You can use it as a guide for you. And ultimately, good things will come of it. That's a very positive, exciting message. I'm excited for you. That's awesome. Okay, Aries. Thank you, Spirit. So what I will do, because this is a live, I will actually write down the timestamp for the next sign, so bear with me here. If you have any comments or anything you want me to know about how your retrogrades have been, drop it in the comments below. I always want to hear. So we are now moving on to Taurus. Okay. All right, Taurus. What is happening with Taurus in this post-retrograde time? It honestly has been feeling like such a relief. Like the energies have been calmed down so much. I don't even have anything to really comment about because it just feels like such a sigh of relief all around. Let's see. Okay. So Taurus, King of Pentacles in reverse and the Temperance in reverse underneath. So it seems like you've been doing your best, Taurus, to keep things under control. And by things, I mean the vices you may have had, the ways that you have dealt with this really hard time. And it feels like you haven't really been in your full King of Pentacles energy. You've almost been self-sabotaging a little bit by overindulging to try to cope with the strange energies that may have been coming about due to the retrograde. And I'm sensing alcohol, mostly alcohol, but it's time to move away from that, it seems like. But let's see what the cards say. It seems like this retrograde season has definitely taken a toll on you. Let's see what else we have for Taurus. Spirit, how will Taurus deal? Thank you. Okay. So it seems like you might have actually dug into your savings during this time. You might have been overspending a little bit. You might have been staying at home at your estate, ordering takein and just hanging out on the couch, just really kind of hermiting a little bit, and you've turned away from your emotional fulfillment. You've really sought things out that aren't necessarily good for you to fill that void that you might have been feeling for whatever reason. Let's see, why was Taurus feeling this void? Okay, why was Taurus feeling this void that was happening? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So, it's a heavy feeling. It's a heavy feeling. This Queen of Cups energy, they could have been your counterpart. You could have been experiencing turmoil in a significant relationship. I don't necessarily want to say a romantic one, but I'm saying significant. I'm kind of sensing a sister energy, but definitely a divine feminine energy that could have been in your field that you were feeling tension or strife with for a reason that you did not understand, and it could have contributed to this participation in these vices for you. Okay, tell me more about, this Queen of Cups. Okay. There could have been someone new on their horizon. There could have been something new they might have wanted to pursue. Okay, what about Taurus? What about Taurus in this situation, Spirit? Thank you. Okay, so this was definitely domestic. So I'm imagining this could have been very heavy. I'm sensing very heavy energy, very, very difficult to process. It's definitely in the realm of the home. It seems like everything was perfect, and something came along, something or someone young charming, intellectual. For some reason I'm getting Aquarius energy here with this Page of Swords. Someone who's in the clouds, very dreamy. And this Queen of Cups might have been very drawn to that, drawn enough to kind of put all of this that was already here at stake, and that's very sad. I'm getting a very, very sad energy. I'm so sorry, Taurus. That is heavy. Okay. Okay, so it feels like a little bit of bad news here. I'm sensing with this situation between these two people, Taurus. This Queen of Cups, she could see them as this wish fulfillment, joyous, and like emotionally satisfying person and situation secretly, and this could have been a secret relationship and an emotional attachment. They may not necessarily have been physically active or physically connected, but there was an emotional attachment that was kept secret, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be a family or like a sister or a mother situation. But if it's romantic, it feels really, really painful. If this is something that has to do with a sister, cousin, anything in the familial that they were doing this, this female, divine feminine, could be turning their back on a father figure. If you're the father figure, Taurus here, this could be your daughter or divine feminine in your household that's making decisions that you're not very fond of in secret, and I'm so sorry. Okay, very heavy. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna move away from this energy respectfully. If there's anything Spirit has, any advice that Spirit has for Taurus at this time, what can we suggest here? Apologies, that's my phone. Okay, so Taurus, got the High Priestess. Anything else? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, the Lovers in reverse. Okay, so in this case, the Lovers in reverse. Okay. So it feels like you might even be here listening to this because you're consulting someone to figure out what's going on and to see if this situation will shut down. If they're not physically active, would you be willing to forgive this person and bring them back into your family, into your life? But ultimately, the Lovers card is a choice, and there is a choice that you have to make, and this will be a difficult choice to make. A very difficult choice to make because you have to make a choice ultimately, and you are being called by Spirit to really lean into your intuition. And if you're seeking intuitive guidance from readers or other people, they will tell you things, but ultimately the choice that you will be making is yours, and it will be a difficult one, I'm sorry to say. But ultimately it will have to be your choice. No one can make that choice for you, and that's what I have for you, Taurus. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Spirit. Let's move away. If you ever want any extended readings on any of these, just email me and we can arrange something. Okay. Alright, so Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Gemini. How is Gemini feeling after this retrograde season? How is Gemini feeling after... Okay. Gemini is starting new things, starting new projects. Okay, Gemini is freeing themselves from subconscious beliefs and any liberating themselves from anything that was holding them down, that was mental, mental slavery. Okay, just wanted to commit. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Okay. So we have currently, definitely new projects, new ideas, bold new things happening, moving towards this Empress energy, but not fully yet. The ideas haven't been fleshed out yet. They haven't manifested, so they're still in the gestational stage. You have been putting in the work. You've been working very hard to get to this point, and it sometimes feels like it was in vain, but ultimately that feeling is what you're liberating yourself from. This King of Pentacles energy, feeling like you were stuck with your finances, that will move forward with these ideas. There's a lot of yellow here, a lot of willpower that's happening. Let's see, I feel like there needs to be one more card here. What is this last card to round out this reading for Gemini? What is this last card that we're missing here? What is future for Gemini here? Okay, I'm sensing this one. Okay. So interestingly enough, what this is telling me is that with these ideas that you have, you are almost like too many ideas. You definitely know where you want to go here, but I feel like I'm looking at these stars around her head. It's like there are too many ideas. You're almost like you don't know where to start or what to do because there are too many things going on at once. After this period of crazy energy with the retrogrades, you're finally liberated to put your energy somewhere, but it's all these things that have gestated now that you're trying to grow. They're all sprouting up from the ground. I see, like with these swords, and you don't even know which ones to tend to, it seems like. So let's see what advice do we have for Gemini here? What advice do we have for Gemini? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay. So the advice that we have here actually is to pick up the pieces. It's feeling like your passion and for some reason this is connected to your ego. I feel like your ego's been bruised, that you've been doing all this work but nothing has come of it, apparently, from the looks of it. But now maybe you lost a little bit of passion for what you were doing with all this hard work, and you're like, oh, I'm not making money, but like I'm working so hard. But it feels like you've almost like lost the passion, but you're recovering it, because this Nine of Wands in reverse actually reverts back to this youthful Six of Wands, which is a celebration. It feels like there's something or someone with this Two of Cups energy that is revitalizing your emotions and your connection to your passion again. It's firing up that passion and celebration success for whatever these projects are in the future, and through this connection with someone in the future could rejuvenate you in your future work to hopefully get out of this Eight of Swords state. So that's what I'm sensing for you, Gemini. It seems pretty straightforward here. So don't despair. Everything is well. Actually, let's read into this connection. So let's see this Two of Cups connection. What is this Two of Cups connection for Gemini? Thank you, Spirit. Anything else for this Two of Cups connection? Okay. That's beautiful. Okay, so this Two of Cups connection, it could happen. Again, this Three of Wands. We got the 9, 6, and the 3 of Wands. Wow, okay. And the Three of Wands are pointing towards this connection. It feels like you're expanding your horizons. This could potentially mean travel to this person, to meet them and to connect with them. It takes a little bit of courage to do this, but the world is at your back. It has you. And even though this is in a little bit of a reverse, of course, there's a little bit of fear that comes with greatness. When you're on the precipice of something great, there's a lot of fear. You're standing at the precipice. You're like, all right, you're gauging your willpower, you're gauging your successes in the past, and you're like, all right, we're going to do this. So this is actually a very beneficial connection for you and a very positive message here that we have. So the world will open up. Very good things will come of whatever this energy, this new project energy that is coming about for you. Thank you. Thank you, Gemini. Thank you, Spirit. This is so good. And let's move away from this beautiful energy. Thank you, Gemini. Okay. All right. So. Okay, so after Gemini comes Cancer. All right, Cancer. So we have, what do we have for Cancer? What do we have for Cancer after this retrograde energy? Okay, just the one card. Let's see. Strength in reverse. Okay, so it seems like you are recovering your strength. You are regaining your strength after this period of retrograde. What else? What else? Thank you, Spirit. And it seems like you have very good potential for emotional fulfillment in the near future. Okay. What else do we have here for Cancers? I keep seeing this like beach. I'm seeing this sunny beach with the ocean, Caribbean. Okay. There we go. So in the past, you could have been very indecisive as to what you wanted to do. There could have been this choice that you were turning a blind eye from. And it feels like you might have been actually not trusting in your intuition to make this choice. Okay, so in the future, you have this Nine of Cups, this emotional fulfillment. You have this Ten of Pentacles that you're moving towards, and it's almost like you're being rewarded for being so strong throughout this process. What is this missing piece here that we have with the choice that Cancer was having a hard time making? Okay, so it seems like the choice that you were having a hard time making was to turn around and look at the positive of the situation that you have. You could have been, I know this common interpretation of this card is crying over spilled milk, but you could have been looking at, or even turning this blind eye actually to the positive things, looking only at the negative things of a situation that was holding you back, and it could have caused you to lose strength, but it could have actually turned you to your intuition. And once you realize, with this clarity out of the retrogrades, once you realize that it's all up to you, once you make this choice on the other side of this, finding the strength within yourself, joy, material fulfillment, emotional fulfillment are all here for you. And I saw this earlier at the bottom of the deck, and it seems like it's a choice for you to move away. This was a choice to move away from this, looking at this not favorable outcome that you wanted, to move away, to mentally do the decluttering, the spiritual reassessment, the decluttering of your mind, to find the strength inside, to look forward at the beautiful things that you have inside of you. It very much feels like not a big dark night of the soul, but definitely some sort of ego death, an ego in the sense of identity, some sort of identity that you held on to for quite a while, Cancer. And for me, I'm sensing that it's like this victim mentality. like this identity of being a victim. Oh, like poor me, things were happening, these bad things, and these things that I really wanted to weren't happening, boo-hoo. But you are overlooking all the good things that have happened to you, and to take the strength, to find the strength to mentally stop doing that, basically, to find the divine within you, your intuition and your divine feminine, to be the creator of the world you want and not the victim of it. Dying to the victim of it is now bringing you a lot of abundance and good things in your life. So that's a really positive reading here, Cancer. And I feel like you're very proud of it. You're aware and you're very proud of it, and maybe the reason you need a little bit of boost and validation is that you're great. You did great. You found the strength inside of yourself, and you actually don't get enough credit when you do. Perhaps you've been called a crybaby before, crying over spilt milk, but you don't have to identify with that anymore. So I just want to say I'm proud of you. That's the sensation I'm really getting here. And good things are coming to you because you deserve them. Good for you, Cancer. I'm proud of you. And with that, we will move on to Leo. Thank you, Spirit. All right. So, Leo. I'm not very good at this way of shuffling, but for your entertainment. Yep. Let's try it one more time. My Leo is in Jupiter, which means... There we go. Which means apparently that I'm magnanimous and I have to put on a show. So here we are, friends. I'm putting on a show for you, channeling the Leo energy that I have inside of me for you. So for Leo, my friends, for Leo. Leo, how are you feeling after this retrograde season? Thank you, Spirit. How are you feeling? Oh, you're about that money, Leo. Yes, sir. You're about that money. You're on that money grind. You're on them projects. You're not satisfied with whatever you have. You're like, everything or nothing. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Interesting. I feel like something... Ooh. Okay. Okay, so... emotionally... Are you holding a grudge against someone? Are you like doing something out of spite? Are you making money out of spite here? What is happening? It seems like there was either an institution or some sort of... Like, was it your workplace? Did they not believe in you? Did you have a fallout? Were you like spiteful to tell them, oh, I'll show you and I'm gonna do this? Okay. How interesting. So it seems like you're really about that money right now. You're kind of shutting down any emotional advance. I'm getting this feeling from these cards that you're like, no more Mr. Nice Leo or Mrs. Nice Leo. No more of that. I'm not being charitable. I don't need anybody's help. I got this on my own. I'm gonna show everybody. I'm taking away all the tools that you guys have hurt me with. You don't get any more access to me. You're really buckled down on this balancing act between your giving and receiving, because it almost feels like you're giving too much. Okay, tell me more, Spirit. Tell me more. Leos are a very generous group of people. Thank you, Spirit. But you're healing that. Ooh. Are you healing your people pleasing? That's what I'm sensing. Yup. You were bound by your people pleasing. You are healing this, and you're healing your money, because now you're about you, and you're not apologizing for it. You were caught up in this belief system that held you trapped. You're healing your relationship with this people pleasing aspect of you. This is what it is, people pleasing. You are always this cloud that's like, hey, do you guys want this? Please accept me. Look at all the things I can do for you. No more. And then here, you know, now they're kind of like realizing, you're like, but look, this cup is so full and I can offer this to you. And then people are like, yeah, I have a lot of that. I don't need that. You're healing this people pleasing notion. And because of that energy drainage that was going towards outside of yourself, when you channel all that back into yourself, when that dualism from outside to inside, you're always going back and forth. Who do I pick, me or the other? It's balancing into unity, into one, because from you and the things that you generate, people will recognize, and it will unify. The success will unify with the giving and receiving. You won't have to balance it anymore. It will all come together. Wow, that's so beautiful and powerful. Okay, any closing remarks for Leo here? Oh, that's beautiful. You're developing a beautiful relationship emotionally through this healing. You might have been crying a lot to release all the emotional pain of this people pleasing, and doing a little bit of the soul searching as to why. But ultimately you drew the line energetically and emotionally. You're developing a beautiful relationship with yourself and healing that. It's so beautiful. Ace of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. You got the water and the earth. You're creating a nourishing, sustainable environment for you to grow and flourish in. So beautiful. So good for you, Leo. That's amazing. What a beautiful energy. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Thank you. Moving away from Leo, we're going towards Virgo. Virgo, okay. All right, Virgo, what do we got? I'm feeling a slowing down. Virgo is slowing down. Tell me, Virgo, what is going on? How has Virgo been feeling after this retrograde season? What clarity, what insights did Virgo have during this time? What do we have? Okay, Virgo. Okay. Wow. Let's see. Yes. Okay, so Virgo, it feels like Virgo restarted a whole new cycle. It feels like we had a spiritual awakening. Feels like the energies were dwindling for Virgo. There's a loss of passion and creativity that may have actually caused you to go searching the new lands for new ways of doing things. You held on to your beliefs, but ultimately you had to let go and have this spiritual awakening to restart your cycle. You could have been having issues with money because being so frugal with the money was actually keeping your passion down, because you were afraid to take risks. You were afraid to be creative because it's almost like you were afraid to spend the money on the things that made you happy, and it was holding you back. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay. So a lot of this wand energy this feels like an internal turmoil within yourself, where the frugal practical, pragmatic part of you was really fighting with the creative Virgo energy of creation, ultimately. This passion, this drive, is really fighting within you. What else? Yep, there's a potential dark night of the soul. You had to hermit, you had to get away from everything to go through this enlightenment, to sense into yourself and have this rebirth. Yep, thank you. And you charged at it intellectually with this Knight of Swords energy. You were like, all right, if we're going to do this, we're going to go all out. And then you were kind of like slowing down. So you went through it mentally, logically first, and then you entered into this emotional sphere. So you definitely dug through all the work, and you go through all the elements to do the work here. Yep. Trapped in your own thoughts and beliefs. Okay, thank you, Spirit. But you made the choice. You made the choice to do the work, even though it was scary. It was not entirely pleasant. You made the choice to do the hard work. And what was our outcome here? Spirit, please. What was our outcome? Okay. What was our outcome for Virgo? Well, we know. This is the Fool. Okay, King of Pentacles energy. So, as a Virgo, you may want... Okay, thank you, Spirit. Interesting. So it's feeling like it's foreign to you, and you might look at it as like a negative thing to be in this King of Pentacles energy, but to become a fully upright King of Pentacles, you would need to embrace the work of the King of Pentacles, which is to be generous, to be giving, to balance out the Four of Pentacles that is holding on, and also the King of Pentacles that's holding on. But the thing between them is, the difference is that this Four of Pentacles person looks like they're holding on to 4 Pentacles, which looks like a lot because the King only has 1, and we only visibly see 1 pentacle. But the truth is that the King is rich because he's able to share. He is rich in all these beautiful grapes. He is rich of the soul and of the heart. He wears a crown. This man, his crown does not grow flowers. His ideas don't blossom. And just to go back to that, the ideas that don't blossom, this creative block that you could have been feeling, is because you were holding on to these pentacles. The King is only holding on to 1 pentacle, and is a way of showing that he has other things to offer. So maybe giving away of this practical pentacle belief system that was holding you captive, you can actually achieve the balance that you're looking for in this King of Pentacles. So you're not there yet, but you're learning. You're learning, and you're on the journey, which is beautiful. So good. All these signs are going through such great shifts in their evolution. This is so wonderful. Okay. Yeah, the struggle is over. You don't have to carry the burden yourself anymore. Just to give context, the ideas and the passions, they weren't coming through. Okay. Were you judging yourself for the ideas that you were having? Were you being too harsh? Okay. Maybe you were distracted by different things. You didn't know what to focus on. But that seems to have been clarified now. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Virgo. All the best to you in your new Fool's cycle. Yes, it's a cycle. We go through these cycles and we need to keep going. The work is never done. All right, thank you, Virgo. Okay, after Virgo, we have Libra. Okay, Libra. So, okay, Libra. Let's see. Doves. The word doves came to me. Birds, some sort of birds. First I thought it was crows, and then the word doves came itself. I'm not sure if that means anything to you, Libra. Oh, here we go. Okay, that one didn't want to go back inside, so... Okay, so it seems like money issues could have been really troubling you for this past retrograde season, Libra. Like you're waiting for your fruit to come in, for your plants to bear fruit, for your ships to come in, as they say, but it just wasn't working out. Something was off, and you were really sad about it, like terribly sad. Let's see what happened here. Okay. Excuse me. It seems like there was a reluctant partnership. There was a reluctant partnership because it seems like you didn't want it, but you had to collaborate with someone to improve your situation. It might have been that you were in a state of depression. You could have been really pessimistic about something that was happening. And this medicinal, I'm sensing, medicinal relationship could have been a doctor or a reluctant, like a physiotherapist, I'm sensing. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay. That's very interesting. Okay, so... could have had I'm sensing a lot of energy. Libras were really going off on this retrograde energy. Okay. There was a masculine figure that hurt you. I'm sensing like an accident, like some sort of automotive accident. Maybe you're a biker of some sort. Were you waiting? Yeah, some sort of accident. And like, I'm sensing like physiotherapy. Someone had to get physiotherapy. And it was a long process, or it still is an ongoing process. But you seem to be getting better. Maybe like you're getting some sort of settlement from it. I don't know, for some reason I'm getting like a bicycle accident, like someone hit you on the road. Tell me more, Spirit, please. This seems very particular for... Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, so... Libras are having a field day, that's what I'm sensing. I mean, if this was an accident that happened to you, it could have been like the best thing that ever happened to you, because it opens up a lot of new doors and possibilities that you never thought. Like maybe you're celebrating because you're getting like a crazy insurance payout, and like you won the case that they were at fault and now they have to pay you out. But it seems like you're benefiting here, even though wasn't a pleasant experience ultimately. And you've got a long way to go through recovery for it. Okay. What else for Libra do we have? Okay, thank you. I mean, it kind of feels like you were asking for this. Like you're like, God, like, please make something happen. Like you were kind of maybe like short on money. Yep. And you're like, yeah, I really saving, really like, okay, waiting for things to come in. And now like you have the strength to go through this situation. I know this is so specific. Okay. Like you were really struggling on like how to make ends meet, and it was really difficult for you to navigate. Maybe like, okay, ultimately you will be emotionally fulfilled, possibly because you are getting like a settlement with all this, but it's coming at a cost for you. That's what I'm saying, Libra. It's coming at a cost for you, and there's a lot of work to do for you to like feel whole again. Like you made this choice, and now you made the bed, now you gotta lie in it ultimately. I don't know, this feels really specific. I hope this message reaches whoever it's intended to reach. Okay, what's the outcome of this? Give me a card for the outcome of all this. Thank you, Spirit. Right. Okay, so the outcome is a journey. Okay. So this whole experience is changing your perspective on life. It's definitely giving you the opportunity to be more nurturing and like come into your creative, fertile power, I'm sensing. Whatever that looks like to you. Interesting. So ultimately, this negative feeling of something really bad happening is getting buried in all these kind of positive cards. So thank you, Libra. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you, Spirit, for showing us this. And I hope you get something from this. And all the best. Thank you, Spirit. Cheers. Moving away from this energy. Okay. And after Libra, we have Scorpio. Okay. All right, Scorpio. What do we have for Scorpio here? Scorpio energy through the retrograde, throughout the retrograde, and now post-retrograde energy. What is our Scorpio post-retrograde energy? Gotta learn how to do that thing with the shuffling. All right, Scorpio, thank you. Post-retrograde, judgment. Okay. So you're discovering something about the world, about yourself, having a lot of realizations. Okay, something that was in secret is coming out. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, thank you, Spirit. So you need strength to make a choice, to see something that you're not willing to look at right now. Okay, and it feels like with this Three of Swords and this Knight of Swords, it feels like you're moving away very quickly from this heartbreak. Okay, so this 2-2-3 of Swords that is covered by strength like this, through having the strength to see what you were blind to, you're able to move away from it with this Knight of Swords. You're able to move through this Three of Swords. This secret, almost like you were keeping a secret from yourself, to fool yourself, to not have to deal with what's happening. All right, what else do we have? You know, the truth will set you free. That's what I'm sensing with this Judgment card. This Knight of Swords, it feels like, is running into the past. Mentally, you might be living in the past, thinking back to all the times that things were good and forgetting about the actual heartbreak of things. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Maybe you're finally free to be emotionally generous, to give your cup of love to someone new. Someone who makes you feel like a child, someone who evokes that childlike spirit in you. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Perhaps you're missing this idea that you had about the past. Perhaps you're missing the actual foundation, the actual partnership that you had before. Perhaps you're just missing the stability of the past, the material stability that was there in the past for you. But you're building towards this emotional abundance. Emotional abundance that you can actually share with others. Come on, Scorpio. Tell me something else. Don't withhold now. What does this mean post the retrograde? Okay, thank you. So post the retrograde, you've gone through this process of mental cutting. You've gone through this process of being cold and harsh and really honest with yourself. Like, these two swords have now separated. These two swords have now separated into two separate cards where you're like, okay, I will see, I will take the blindfold off and be justice and look at this. And whatever it is, I will thank it. I will crown whatever this thing that I was avoiding looking at. I will crown it. I will thank it for its participation in my life. And I will balance out the scales. And I will move on. Emotional stability. That's what this retrograde period meant for you. The turmoil, the looking back, the gathering of the strength. And through this gathering of the strength, all these swords, they were keeping you back actually from being this Queen of Pentacles energy. And it feels like you moved away from this Ten of Pentacles that could have been there for you in the past because of this Three of Swords, whatever was happening. This judgment, I find judgment and justice kind of go hand in hand for me, because justice means you're moving away from the secrecy. Excuse me. You're moving away from the secrecy. You're looking at things as they are. The truth sets you free. And through this retrograde, you found the strength to become a queen on your own. And sit there with the truth and be like, yep, that's what it is. And found it within you to move on. To honor the pain. To honor the story, the narrative that was told by yourself to yourself in your mind about what happened with this whole situation, this Three of Swords heartbreak. And it got covered up with these beautiful divine feminine energies, these yellow willpower, solar plexus truth energy. The sun, just like the moon, the balance. It came forward, and now you're at a place emotionally that's really good. All right, final word for Scorpio here. What can Scorpio expect after this retrograde? Now, thank you, Spirit. Wheel of Fortune, that's beautiful. The world's your oyster. Hey. And the Chariot, movement, motion. So some sort of emotion. If you take the actions to make things happen, Scorpio, the Wheel of Fortune will turn. For the better or for the worse. It landed sideways like this. Maybe it's at a still point where like it's up to your actions that you take where the wheel goes. And maybe don't slip back into this Two of Swords energy. That's the advice I have for you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's move on here. Thank you, Scorpio. All right. So now we have Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, let's go. I will attempt. Getting a little better. I gotta bend the cards the other way. Okay. Sagittarius. The Wounded Healer. I don't know why that came out, but that's what I get. Okay, chaos, of course. Sagittarius, it's chaos. Forgive my graceless shuffling here. Alright, Sagittarius, let's go. Is that how you've been filling Sagittarius? Okay, chaos abound. Okay, so Knight of Wands. So this retrograde was a doozy for you, Sag. That's what I'm sensing here. Okay, Knight of Wands in reverse, mind you. So like you were trying to make moves and you were lamenting something hard, okay? Lamenting something that you're trying to move on from and it just wasn't working for you. And I think as much as you tried, moving on, trying to move on from this thing, but what was it, Sagittarius? What were you lamenting? What were you mourning, if you will? A love connection. Okay. And now, retrograde clarity. Okay, Queen of Wands energy. So it was a passionate, wild, driven woman. All these cards are in reverse. This is very interesting. So you were a Knight of Wands chasing a Queen of Wands. Was she... Okay, so clearly she was... You saw her as, and I say her because divine feminine, right? This could be male, this could be female, whatever you decide it is for you. But this divine feminine, who I'll refer to as she seemed to like really fulfill everything you need to be fulfilled here. You felt very romantic with her. You felt very suave, very charming. You wanted to give her and offer her things. You wanted to offer her your cup. But ultimately, it feels like this divine feminine was not ready for this emotional relationship. They were not ready. They were not ready for the divine masculine that you possibly are. They actually don't know what they want. So this divine feminine, she doesn't know what she wants. She has a hard time making a decision. She's really trapped mentally. And she's scared. She's scared of the power. Maybe this is what she sees you like, this Page of Cups. She's like, ooh, he's such a silly little boy, little page. But ultimately you were offering something that was truly abundant, truly fulfilling, a full ace. You're pouring from a full cup of who you are and your own love, and this person did not see that. And that's why you're lamenting it. And what happens now with this post-clarity? It's post-retrograde. This post-retrograde clarity that we have now, what is happening now? This is at the bottom of the deck, and I don't know if I want to take it. We'll see how it goes. But death, an ending. Could be a Scorpio. This person, this divine feminine, she, could be a Scorpio. Sagittarius for you. What is happening? Okay, thank you, Spirit. So what is happening? It feels like someone's trying to justify themselves, trying to logically reason something away. Okay, so I'm getting this, like, this person, this Knight of Swords here. To me, this Knight of Swords looks like Joffrey from Game of Thrones, and that is the sense that I'm getting. It could be you, could be this divine feminine person. They could be really trying to justify themselves and their actions and why they turn their back on you. Take it or leave it. Any final remarks for Sagittarius? Any closing remarks for Sagittarius? Thank you, Spirit. Horizontally, Temperance. So ultimately, Sagittarius, you gotta transmute one thing into another. You gotta use this pain and transmute it into something good for yourself. This is a really great lesson for you these past 6 months. This retrograde time. Whatever you learned from that, what do I want to come out? Maybe it's teaching you to hold on to your possessions, which is your love, your beautiful love, and not to offer it to just anyone. Any final remarks? I think that's it. Take it or leave it, Sag. You might be in denial. That's what I'm sensing here. This might be hard for you to hear this. If it resonates at all, again, let me know in the comments. Tell me about your story. And also, tell me what sign you are and you're listening for, because I'll do full readings just for one sign. I need to know who's listening to be able to read for you. And if you made it this far, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for taking the time to go all this way. Okay. Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. The cards are getting bent. Capricorn. Okay, let's go Capricorn. I find it funny that Capricorns even get any audience, because they tend to not believe in this stuff. Okay, thank you, Sue. Okay, so what do we have, Capricorn? Okay. It's a hard time. It's a hard time for Capricorn. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of self-judgment going on here. Definitely emotional turmoil, feeling left out in general. But you do have a new perspective. You have a new perspective on your own mental prison, if you will. This mental prison, this Queen of Swords, this is your inside mental self-judging voice. You're constantly, or maybe this past retrograde season, you have been constantly judging yourself, really reevaluating. You got the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Like your emotional and material landscape of your life have been like, you really took a hard look at it, and you're really harsh with yourself, and you're really looking at where you were keeping yourself trapped. Like you really developed a new beautiful perspective on everything that was happening in your life. So in a sense, as hard as it was for you this past retrograde season, it seems like good things are coming. Like Devil in reverse, where you're like getting out of those shackles, that's really good. You're not accepting subpar things anymore. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, this was definitely like very like dark night of the soul kind of experience for you. You really took the time to be alone. It's a dark winter. Three of Swords. Okay, Three of Swords, Queen of Swords here. This to me talks about where you were breaking your own heart. You really had almost like an out of body look at your own life and looking at your old self. You did like a whole overhaul on your life. This reading is so neat, and it's very Capricorn energy I'm sensing. Like just so perfect, like and organized. Yes. You turned away from anything that was not emotionally fulfilling you. You're really looking to find the truth. And that's really difficult and beautiful. I'm so proud of you, Capricorn. I know it's difficult, but you got through it. Thank you, Spirit. Yep, took a lot of willpower. You had a lot of willpower, and you developed the tactic you needed. You saw where you were cheating yourself, and you sat with yourself. You sat with your presence, with your offering that you have, and you saw your own value. So this is what I'm sensing. You went from being this Queen of Swords who was doing all this assessment, and you took those swords away, and what was left is this beautiful Queen of Pentacles. This beautiful Queen of Pentacles, which is the essence of who you are. The offering, the nourishment, the fertility. I'm just noticing this rabbit here. It's very deep. The undercurrent is very deep, and this feels like a very radical change in your life. I'm almost like I don't really want to speak. It's just this feeling of like understanding of how profound this whole shift was for you. You learned a lot about yourself and how you operate in the world. And it's good. It feels very grounding. It feels like you have a really sure footing in yourself, and you won't fall prey to these things that were keeping you bound anymore. It's really good, Capricorn. I'm really proud of you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for that energy. Now we've got Aquarius. I'm going to do this for Aquarius. Thank you, Spirit. All right. Okay, right away, Aquarius wants to show us Ace of Swords. The mental game is strong. The mental game is strong with this one. Okay. Okay, so what I'm sensing here is there's a really strong desire to start something new, like a new venture of like a new contract, a new intellectual venture, like studying maybe even. You had this like really deep energy of like new things, evolution, seeking emotional fulfillment. Also while balancing and having a hard time balancing the two things, could be material and spiritual, could be emotions and possessions. Ironically, like you do have the capacity as a magician to manifest anything you want, which goes right up here with the Page of Swords. That could make this Ace of Swords happen, but in reverse, it just feels like as a page, like you're not almost like confident in yourself enough to make it happen. You have the belief and the airiness, the dreaminess of making things happen, but like there feels like there's this internal battle of like passions inside of you. Like you don't know what to put your actual mind to. Like you have so many interests and you don't know what to actually like put your mind to. Like you want this emotional satisfaction, but like you're trying to balance all these things in your being. Okay, and it's causing like a lot of difficulty. Like it seems like you do embody this like divine masculine. There's a lot of sacral energy. It's like there's very few cards, if that many, that have this like orange backdrop, this like raw sacral energy to make these manifestations happen. Like you have it, and you are very generous with the gifts that you have. But it feels like when you get the manifestations you want, it's like you squander them, because it seems like material possessions don't really mean anything to you. Like you're more about the emotional satisfaction. You don't really like hold on to your wealth. You give it away, and kind of leaves you constantly waiting for new wealth to come in. And you're constantly seeking this like emotional, the next thing. You're looking for the next thing that will bring you this joy, this satisfaction. Interesting. Okay. And so this retrograde season, that's what's been happening. Okay. And it seems like what you're not very generous with is your emotions. You may be generous with your money. You may be spending it on all these beautiful, cool things that make you feel good, and going through these cycles of like fast, what's that word? Feast and famine. But there's something missing. There's something missing. The Six of Cups in reverse. It's like you're trying to, it feels like you're trying to satisfy this inner child, but nothing can satisfy that inner child. Nothing can no material possession or object can satisfy this inner child that you're trying to give. Your adult self is trying to satisfy your inner child. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Okay, thank you, Spirit. So now about this post-retrograde clarity. What are we sensing here about this post-retrograde? Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Okay. You may be successful if you move physically away somewhere. Maybe you're traveling for work to make money. Okay, Spirit. What do we have for Aquarius? Okay. Temperance. Okay. Temperance and Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, okay? And then we got the Ten of Pentacles here, the Four of Pentacles, the World, two of Wands, okay? And the Tower, High Priestess, Empress. So there's like a whole story here I'm sensing. It feels like there has to be a divine feminine in your life. You're looking for like a Kali kind of female to destroy your world, to bring insight and a divine feminine energy into your life. Anything that you get out of the world will pale in comparison. Even if you like hold on to your money, and if you get this like perfect material possessions that you've always wanted and hold on to your money, it won't be enough. You'll always search for something more, and until you destroy everything that you've had and like truly embrace this divine feminine that maybe you're actually looking for, it won't happen for you. This Ace of Pentacles that was at the bottom in reverse, to unlock your full pentacle potential. Like Temperance, like it's really, you're having a hard time balancing. Like you're spending money in this feast and famine situation. Like there has to be a balance. Like you have to learn how to balance your energies, and perhaps stop running from something that you're avoiding. And maybe you're avoiding settling down, maybe you're avoiding finding this divine feminine, and because you truly want this like beautiful emotional stability, this emotional like family and love and everything that is this, like this simple house and some land. It's not a castle. It's not like you need all this money for it here, but that won't happen unless you get some things in balance and under control here, Aquarius. And perhaps this time, hopefully over this retrograde period, if that hasn't become apparent, then hopefully you hear this and you make some different choices in your life, because you have the capacity, you have the manifesting ability and the sacral energy that is required to bring about a divine feminine and create this beautiful life. But it feels like your head's in the wrong space. It feels like there's this like dreamy mental belief system that's keeping you from truly embracing the material world and being responsible with it, is what I'm sensing. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Thank you, Aquarius. Thank you, Spirit. And finally, we have Pisces. All right. Okay. All right, Pisces. So, Pisces, in our retrograde energy. Excuse me, good Lord. Okay, Pisces. So it feels like you've been trying to embrace this Knight of Pentacles energy throughout this retrograde period, and it's like it just feels like it's not really happening. Why is this not happening, Spirit? Why is this not happening for our Pisces here? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, so this could be very specific for someone, but this is Scorpio energy with the Death card here, and this is a Queen of Wands energy, which could represent a female energy in your life. Take that as it resonates. Okay, so here we have a story. The Magician. So there is a power of manifestation. There's a power of manifestation that you have. Let's see this story. Okay, so you could have propositioned like a material venture, and you've actually grown, it seems like. So if you started as this Page of Pentacles and now you're at this Knight of Pentacles, you're maturing, learning how to operate in business, and that's beautiful. But what I'm sensing with it, it feels like this, there's like a divine feminine involved, a woman, if you will, or a partner that can embody this Queen of Wands energy. This Queen of Cups energy. Perhaps you were seeing her as this Queen of Cups energy. Perhaps you tried to romanticize her. But see, both of these pages, they're very young. They're very, like, if this person, this female, if she's in her queen energy and you're approaching her in this page energy, it wouldn't have worked out. It seems like you were carrying this really big burden that you weren't able to, like, really fulfill on whatever was needed. Like, you weren't able to fulfill on a promise. It was too much to bear for you, too much to carry. Too much to carry romantically. So you're like, all right, well, what about financially? Can I provide for you? And, you know, this Nine of Pentacles in reverse, it tells me that it wasn't enough for this Queen of Cups. It wasn't enough, and I think ultimately she made a decision that was like, no, I don't think this is happening. I'm putting my sword down. We're not doing this. And it was really painful to acknowledge that it wasn't going to work with you. But ultimately, if anything, I think this energy is actually leaving you open to be more of this magician, and not just a Knight of Pentacles. Not like this Knight of Pentacles traversing the material world. That's the material world. That's the 3D. You are capable of a lot more than that, and I think this energy, this female energy, was actually pulling you down. And if this was Scorpio energy or the death energy, it was actually trying to help you get rid, to shed whatever skin this was, to become the magician and not just the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is stagnant. He just stands still with his pentacle. He's not making any moves to do things, to manifest. But the magician is. And maybe you had to die with the death to the Knight of Pentacles inside of you to move on and actually be this magician. And maybe this is for the best. Maybe this female was actually preventing you from getting too caught up in something that was not for your highest good. She was helping you evolve. Anything else for our Pisces here? Anything else for Pisces? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Turning this magician turned this Knight of Pentacles into this Knight of Wands. Maybe you can hold on to your money. Hold on to your estate and maybe keep things close to you as you work on this magician energy. Don't give out your energy so freely and spread it all around. You need to manifest, be the magician, do the work. Actually believe in your passion and follow it. And keep it safe, make smart investments and hold on to your assets. That's the sense I'm getting here. I hope that's been helpful. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please do leave a comment in the comment boxes below. Please do reach out to me via email if you want a personal reading. I'm always happy to answer questions and do personal readings. And as always, stay good, stay safe, and all the best. Have a good one.